Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's difficult because the album's out now. Because now I feel like today my feeling's just on the fact that's piece of work is released. Dan and I went to an area just outside Blackwood where we used to spend lots of time playing, basically. And then when we were older, drinking and swimming in rivers and setting fires and things like that. But the idea was that we wanted to go back to the places that sort of set the foundations of what would become the inspiration for the album. Yeah, I was thinking about how these places relate to the music that we make and the kind of work that we want to do. And I think when we were younger, these are the kind of places where we would play out our dreams, basically. If you weren't born a dreamer, then this is the kind of place that would make you one. And so I think that kind of spirit of adventure is in the work. It kind of set the canvas and palette. And then I think our lives sort of changed quite a bit in our kind of like early to mid-teens. And I think this place and places around it and like it became a sort of way of escape. And I think that kind of awareness of what they mean is what we bring now to the album. When we kind of remade the album, it was with this new understanding, as much as you can understand, of what these kind of places mean to us.
I think Brother was probably the first. Brother and the Horses were the first two that I remember recording very early demos for. At that point, obviously sounding a lot different. I think we were exploring a lot more Scottish music with folk themes, and we decided that that's the kind of direction that we was going to go in. And again, I think we kind of sketched it out. We probably had the track list ready before anything else, even before the songs, just an idea of something to write around in a direction. From there, I think it was a few years we had a break, and then we decided to go back and revisit the idea that was kind of all written out and all planned for by ourselves at, every age, 15, 16. And then we had to sort of fill in the gaps, which is what we'd done at the time.
By the sun. Should I go like that, or should I go skin red by the sun? Oh.
And I guess it was like a week or two we spent recording and writing really the album. And then we wanted to record drums for it, and I think the album was going to be out February of 2020. Went to record the drums at Loch Fyne. And by that point, I think the album we considered was pretty much done, and that was what we wanted to release. And somehow it ended up dragging on for another 4 years.
We are in the Quarry Club, which is where we did a lot of the early work as a 2 and then a 3-piece for the band. When we were gearing up to do the Wilderness sessions and the kind of pre-first gig preparations.
Well, when we came to playing the songs live, we then got Cameron involved.
It was in the Quarry Club that Cam was first introduced to the band. We'd met very briefly years ago, and I can't remember which context now, but it was via Dan.
It was the first practice. It was intimidating. You come in and I'd never really met Mike properly. There was, I'd met him at gigs and stuff, and I knew who he was. I'd been at college with Dan. I'd not really seen Dan in a few years. He texted me if I was interested, and it was perfect timing really, because I just got out of a previous band. Yeah, coming to the Quarry Club for the first time, it was like, I've got to make a good first impression.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It was quite good. It was a good first meeting of the minds.
Up until then, because it was Dan and I, it was always like it was like this thing that existed between the two of us and that we were ferociously engrossed in. But when Cam came in and was introduced to and brought all of his qualities to this musical world that we were trying to create, and he brought his guitar work to it, it made it feel like something that was real.
The songs kind of again took on a new lease of life. We sort of changed them to adapt them to a live setting, and obviously and something as well that's probably more in line with how we see songwriting and music now.
It was really fun those first times in the Quarry Club, just like learning the songs and refining them and changing bits and pieces, and it becoming a new thing that I was able to contribute to. Yeah, it was like a rewarding feeling going through that process.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever Oran Ra show. Thanks for being here. This is a song called Over the Moorlands.
And Nathan had actually been at the first Oran Ra gig. Nathan was sort of a perfect fit because he came from basically the same place as Dan and I did. He was someone that we knew through a friend of ours, Connor.
I thought you were good to that first gig at Flying Duck. And then when I joined, I was impressed with how tight you were. Because it was just, I had to just turn up and learn the songs and play them. There was no really messing about with getting tight, it was just you were already tight, so I just had to join in. I was struggling, to be honest, when I first had to learn the songs. Because I didn't really have a place to practice, I just had to listen to them and try and get it. So it was a bit of a struggle, but I feel good playing it now. It's like really folky, which I like. It's like folk rock, and it's it.
And within a few practices, I remember we had a specific practice, and it was just one of those experiences where you're creating something in the room and it just feels electric, and there was an excitement and everyone was very aware of it, and it just felt right.
Yeah, we started sort of patchworking over the old record, recording guitar bits here and there, but primarily it was all on the same foundations that we'd written 10 years prior and recorded 5 years prior. Last year in June or July, we sat down to record the vocals and put out the album, because the old style just didn't really, again, line up with how we make music now. I think we had just finished recording the last of the vocals and maybe even the last of a new layer of acoustic guitar for the 4th time or something, and then we decided to properly fulfill the vision that we have it's going to take an entire re-recording of the album.
After a period of playing as a 4-piece, we realised that the sound that we were making live and practices was the one that we wanted on the record. That was the sound of the band. We wanted to capture that. And so Dan and I were sitting one day doing overdubs of guitar or vocals or both, and we sort of, in the space of about 10 minutes, decided that we were going to stop this, we were going to chuck everything we did and start again, because we wanted the band on the record, not a sort of Frankenstein of all these different parts going from 5 years ago to now.
The practice where it was announced that we would be re-recording the album, there was conflicted feelings, because I just finished recording all the album, sitting on my own in my flat, annoying my flatmates. So on one hand, I was like, I've got to do it again. But on the other hand, it was cool, because it would be, I suppose, a more true representation of what the music had become. Because like whole songs had been like overhauled. Yeah, it was for the better, because this time when we were able to record it all live, it added something that's kind of more special to it.
The album up until that point was me and Mike, primarily. Probably elements in all of the songs wouldn't exist the way they do now without the time that had passed, the people that have joined and helped us. And the current lineup, I don't think the songs would exist the way that they do now.
So Nathan was the one that suggested the Washhouse in Crawford John, and that it turned out to be kind of perfect environment for us.
You're in the middle of fucking nowhere, so it's quite good. You're just out in nature, which is nice, you know. And if like you're fed up, you can just go outside and go for a walk. Oh, we never had time to do that, but when you're recording for a few days, you can just go and take a break, lie in nature. It's quite nice. And then in the morning, they'll make you a big fry up.
And that's where we went and finally got Orenra, the band, on record. And it was intense, grueling, beautiful experience.
I saw a crow fly past the cross.
It's a funny one. Probably the longer it took to make, the more pressure there was on getting it right, because suddenly you've not just got this little album that you worked on for a week or 2 weeks or something. You've got this mammoth that you've been trying to develop for 10 years, and the larger it gets, the sort of more you want to hold on to it and keep making sure that it's perfect. But the irony is that we then went to re-record it in a single day. It took us to actually just decide to start again to make it so much easier for ourselves.
We did it all in one day, and we did it all live. It was exactly how we should have been making the record.
But doing it live, you get a real nice sound, like, or a good feel. Because then it's just take, the one song. You're all doing it together. There's a lot of pressure. It's just you and the red light. You can make a lot of mistakes because of that. So it was a much better way of doing it. So we did it. We did well, like, so we did. Although it was long, it took a long time. It was, by the end of it, we were fucked, but it was good.
So we did the 12-hour mega session at the Washhouse, which was that was a very interesting experience. It was really good, but there were some points I think I blacked out. I don't remember recording parts.
I feel as if this thing that existed between our sort of like heads somewhere is now an actual piece of work, an actual item. There's a sense of relief, as if something that has been like I've held on to is now out there. I can be at peace with that piece of work, which I had hoped I would feel like that and like dreamt it.
I carry on to higher ground. I stand atop the plains around. This sense of freedom has taken